Yeah, I don't work out. I don't work out at all. Shouldn't probably look crazy. Whew, hold on, give me a second. All right, hopefully the slow motion B-roll start was worth it. I think we got Stella's poop out of the way so that way we can take her on a walk with me, because Stella likes to poop like 5 times when we go on a walk, and then I end up with like a grocery bag full of poop that I have to carry around for like a mile. Stella, you're gonna come with us, okay? Let's bring her along. You wanna go on a walk? You wanna go on a walk? Come on, let's go. Put the ND down. Let's get your little collar. Good girl. All right, guys. I think today we're gonna need a ND8. Oops, wrong way. It's not super cloudy, but just in case. Come on, Stella. I'm trying to exercise her quite a bit because vet says that she needs to lose at least 10 pounds. So we cut her food a little bit down and trying to exercise her, fetch with her a little bit more, extend this thing out. All right, guys. Today's video is gonna be on how to start vlogging, baby steps. I really, this is a video I actually been wanting to do for a long time. I've had it requested since like 10, 15 videos ago. A lot of people keep asking for it. And I thought about making it so many times. Like I actually filmed it at least 3 different times, try to come up with a structure, and it's been very, very hard. I kind of feel like maybe it's because I do my videos, I freestyle my vlogs. I just share my life experiences, and I've gotten so comfortable with the camera after, 50 plus videos I've done already in the past 2 months. It gets easier. And I do feel like vlogging is kind of like parenting, or like, I don't know. Let's see, what else we could do? Oh, owning a pet. At first you kind of have an idea of the things you got to do. Like, you got to feed it, spend time with it, take care of it, and you kind of learn along the way, right? And the thing is that every pet, every child, every experience, whatever that is going to be a little bit different, because pets have different personalities. Kids have different personalities, I have a boy that's very, very sensitive, and he's the oldest one. You thought that he would be tougher and stuff like that, but it turns out that actually my youngest boy, his little brother, is the tough one. He's less sensitive. He's always ready to, jump around, wrestle, take hits, just handles things a lot different. Not that one is stronger than the other one, but just different personalities. And that's what makes us that's what makes us special, I think that vlogging is one of those things where there is some sort of a little bit of a structure to it. But other than that, I feel like you have to just hit record and start filming. You have to start getting out there and getting comfortable with your camera. Don't worry so much about settings right now. That's why I preach shooting in auto. Yes, am I using ND filters right now in motion blur? Of course, but that'll come later, okay? And that's only if you want it to. You don't have to. You can stick around with auto settings and let the camera do all the work. Honestly, that's probably the best way. But if you're a little geeky, want a little bit more of that motion blur, wow, it's really cold today. Want a little bit of that motion blur, want to play around. Once you've gotten all your vlogging and your workflow down and feel comfortable in front of the camera, like that'll come later, okay? What I'm gonna say here is, if you already got your Action 4 camera, which if you saw my last video, that's the camera that I'm gonna recommend. Why? Because right now, the Osmo Pocket 3 is crazy on the prices. I don't think that it's worth that high of a price unless you're, you got money and you don't care, then go ahead and buy the Osmo Pocket 3. But if you're just starting out and you're just trying to feel out the waters and seeing if this is for you, I'm gonna say get the Action 4. You're not gonna miss out too much. Yes, there's other features on the Action 5, and you're probably saying, well, that's kind of hypocritical of you to say when you're filming on the Action 5. Here's the difference. I do this professionally. I do this full time. I am a professional content creator. I film weddings with this camera. I film different things with this camera. I've already been doing it. I already know that I like doing videos. I'm already doing daily videos. This to me now is just a tool. And those features then actually help me out in, you know, my filming process and all that stuff. So for me, it now makes sense. And that's what I'm trying to get to you guys, is that right now, if you're starting out and you want to learn how to vlog, get the Action 4. If you absolutely don't have any money, then start at least with your phone, but try to move as quickly as you can, if you are liking the process, to an action camera. Your phone, even though it's capable of shooting vlogs and probably maybe better quality than an action camera, I don't know, but your phone it's the relationship I think that we have with our phones is a lot different than the relationship you're gonna build with this camera right here. Whatever that vlogging camera is for you, whether it's the Osmo Pocket, a GoPro Hero, you know, an Action 5, an Action 4, the relationship is so much different. My mindset when I grab my phone and film a video is way different than the mindset I have when I'm picking this thing up. Now, our phones are meant for communication, right? We go on Facebook, we go on YouTube, we communicate, we comment, we have notifications nonstop, calendar invites from family, you know, everybody. It's just a big distraction. Trying to film with your phone is such a big distraction. And I think it'll break you away from the experience of trying to connect with your audience, especially when you're filming for vlogging. It's all about the experience. And vlogging, or vlogs, I believe, come from the heart. There are stories, there are experiences that we all like to share that can help somebody else out or start awesome relationships over the internet. It's crazy for me to see people from China, Russia, Korea, Europe, I don't know, Brazil. I've gotten so many people that are now following me and watching me, all because I decided to hit record and share my life experiences with them. If you're about to start vlogging, do this. Grab your camera, whatever that is at this moment, hit record, and start off with a very simple story. A story, a life experience that you've had that you'd like to share with the rest of us. It doesn't even have to have a lesson to it, to be honest with you. At least not at the beginning, right? We can jump into those advanced kind of storytelling levels later on, which I'll make more videos on that. This is like part one. Dang it. Sorry about those ambulances. I swear at this exact same spot in my last video, ambulances were coming through again. And you can hear them. Check out my last video. You're gonna hear them exactly at the spot that I'm walking right now. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going. Start with a simple story. You don't have to teach a lesson. You might think, man, I don't have anything like interesting though. I don't know what to talk about. Like, my stories nobody's gonna like. Stop shooting. I'm gonna tell you this, stop filming for other people, film for yourself. Make a diary out of yourself. YouTube and the algorithm are gonna find the audience for you. They're gonna do a great job. I'll start teaching you, we're gonna do this together. I'll start teaching you through these videos. Maybe I'll call this the Baby Steps vlogging series. This is part one. I'm gonna teach you along the way how to jump to the next level and how to add a little bit more to your vlogging experience and vlogging journey. I'm gonna help you through this whole thing. You're not alone. There's a lot of awesome vloggers out there. I wanna make sure that you get to that point because I do believe sharing your story is very important, and I'm all for that. The amount of vloggers now that have been tagging me on their videos, I absolutely love. Don't overthink of what story is gonna make a better impact or not. Make it very simple, the easiest story you can tell. And you know what's cool about doing something that's your own experience is that nobody else was there. Nobody else was there to experience it. You can tell it the way you wanted to tell it. You don't need to script it because you remember it. It's in your heart. It's in your heart and it's your mind. I thought Stella was gonna do her thing, but she didn't. She just peed a little bit. It's in your heart. It's in your mind. You can just start talking about it. And you know what that's gonna do? It's gonna make you talk to the camera without really thinking about it. You're gonna connect with your audience. Here, we're gonna cross the street. Come on, Stella. Look at her, she's so happy. So happy, right, girl? Yeah, you're gonna be talking super, super confident to the camera, or at least the best that you can, because the thing is that when you script something, you're gonna be thinking so hard to want to stay on script and the points and all that stuff. Just hit record. Oh my gosh, every siren is going off right now. We're not gonna let that stop us, right, Stella? She's here for the game. It's so loud, like what the heck? Where is it? Is it by my house or something? All right. I think they finally got to their destination. I don't hear it anymore. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so back to the story, or back to the lesson here. Set a 10-minute timer, 10 to 15-minute timer. Grab your camera and go on a walk and tell the camera that story as if you were talking to a friend, a family member, maybe your best friend, whatever that is. And just let your mind go. Don't think about YouTube. Don't think about what the people are gonna think about your story or any of that stuff. Just tell me the story. I wanna hear about the first time you fell off your bike and how you felt. Get a little bit more detail with it, you know? What happened before you fell off the bike? Why did you fall off the bike? What did you do after you fell off the bike? Did you break anything? Did you get a scar? Did you learn a lesson? You know, who was there to help you? All those things. That's very easy. Just tell it to me in details. That's it. That's what you're gonna do for your first vlog. End it there. Thank everybody for listening and joining you on the vlog, and stay tuned for the next one. That simple. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna just pick a random story. I'm gonna think of one right now. I think somebody will be able to relate to that experience or something. There's billions of people here on YouTube. Somebody's gonna relate to it, and YouTube will find more people. Okay, so today's story on this vlog walking thing is going to be about how I ended up with action cameras. Let's rewind it back. 14 years ago, I bought my first camera because my cousin taught me, my cousin who I looked up to as a big brother and lived with me for a while, back when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old, 9 maybe. He's a few years older than me, maybe 5. I just always looked up to him. I wanted to, you know, be like him, everything, dress like him, all that stuff. He bought a camera back around the time when I was 20 years old. I had just gotten married. Being that we were so similar, we were both very nerdy. We liked gear, techie stuff, sound systems, music. He bought a camera and, you know, showed it off to me. I started playing around with it. At first he started taking pictures of me. Yay, sidewalks. Hold on. We're gonna cross the street because my neighborhood doesn't believe in sidewalks, but they just start over here on this side. So we're gonna go over here. Right, Stella? So he showed me his camera and I was like, man, this is awesome. This is pretty fun to use. And I picked it up very quickly. We started messing around with Photoshop. Back in the day, like Lightroom wasn't a thing. And, or maybe it was, we just didn't discover it yet. But it was like 14 years ago. We were doing Photoshop, you know, all the layers, the filters and all that stuff. And immediately I told my wife, my new, freshly wife, within like the first month of getting married, I think I told her like, hey, can we use some of this wedding gift money to buy a camera? And she agreed. At the time, it was just supposed to be like a gift, you know, it was supposed to be for like a hobby. I didn't even think anything of it. She said yes. I bought it, started taking pictures. I started getting more attention on Facebook. Hey, you know, how much for photos and stuff like that? I was doing like free work nonstop for like a year. Eventually, I got asked to take pictures at like local bars and nightclubs and stuff because I was into like wanting to be a DJ at that time in my life. And so I was like, well, I don't have DJ equipment yet, or I did, but I just wasn't pursuing it that much. But photography was working for me. So I was like, all right. So I did some like little DJ nightclub photography out in Chicago in the city and stuff like that. And ended up, you know, staying up pretty late, coming home around like 4 or 5 in the morning the next day. And it just, after that only lasted so long because it was so hard. My wife had just had a baby, you know, within the year of getting married. And it was hard for me to be gone working those late hours. And the pay was like, all right, it wasn't the best, but it got me getting used to shooting at night, using my flash, using all the advanced gear, whatever. You know, I considered putting on a flash and a little softbox, like super pro back then. It started there. Eventually, fast forward a few years, I started just kind of slowly increasing my price. I wasn't like a legit business then, but I was still working fast food, Chipotle. The photography just started taking off. I got asked to do a wedding as an assistant by another local photographer, and I really loved it. I loved the experience. I ended up shooting quite a bit of weddings with this company here in my town. Those guys really helped me get launched, got me used to the wedding industry, taught me a lot of the things that I know now, and I'm super thankful for them. They've all now, like, I think, quit photography. None of them are doing it. As the photography started growing, I decided to make it a business. I saw myself shooting my own weddings. I started getting to the point where, you know, I started getting 20 weddings a year, 25, then the next year doubled to 40. And ever since the past probably 8 years or so, I've been shooting 40 to 50 weddings consistently every single year by myself. It's been a really cool experience. I was able to provide for my family as a high school dropout. The last grade I completed, by the way, is 8th grade. I went to freshman year high school and then I just dropped out. I flunked a year. I never went to school. I skipped class. I didn't do anything bad, but I was just, no, Stella. All right, hold on, intermission. All right, back in action. Got the goodies. Shoot, where was I? Oh yeah, I remember. Never got in trouble. After, you know, I just got dropped from not going. I just started working. I started hustling. I wanted money. I started, you know, I got this job at a fast food restaurant place. And that's all I did for a few years in my teenage life. Fast forward back to, you know, the weddings, I started buying more and more gear. I started, you know, I wanted to get the top-notch lenses, the top-notch cameras. I was making way more money than I ever thought, literally. And I'm gonna share some numbers here. It's not like nothing to brag about or anything like that. Now I know everybody, states that they live in, you know, I feel like I can shine here better just because there's less competition. If I were to go to California and try to become a videographer, dude, the amount of talent out there is insane. And I'll be battling against so many different people. Here in this smaller city, there's only a handful of guys doing video. Most of the guys I know are doing production work, and I'm really the only one here, besides another friend that has a wedding video company that are soaking up the weddings here locally. So it's awesome. I can provide for my family and more. So anyways, rant over on that. The gear started growing. Eventually, you know, COVID happened, and after that, I was like, you know what? I wanna start getting into video. I bought more gear. I bought 3 red Komodo cameras. Now they just dropped in price. I think they're like $299.99, so like $3 grand, which is crazy because when I bought them, I think they were like double the price. They were like $7,000 a piece. And you needed to buy memory cards, which are like $500 a piece, and batteries, you know, another $150 a battery or something crazy like that for the V mounts and all the rigs and everything. Each rig ended up costing me almost like $12,000, and I had 3 of them. Bought them all at the same time. You know, I just like the amount of money I spent in a year. I think I spent about, this was 2023. I decided to start doing more video work, and not for weddings, but more for commercial. I was like, you know what? I want to get back into, you know, filming for brands, local businesses and stuff like that. I was doing photography, but now I wanted to do video. So that meant a bunch more gear. I think that year, if I remember my reports correctly, I spent about $65,000 that year on just gear. I'm talking about cinema lenses, camera bodies, memory cards, storage, subscriptions to softwares, everything. Like $65,000 a year $65,000 that year. Honestly, if I was on a tight budget, I could support my entire family on probably that much money here in my hometown and with the bills that I have now. The only debt I have at this moment is my house. That's it. So I would say comfortably with groceries and everything like that, I have to make about $3 grand a month to support my whole family. You know, 2-3 weddings a weekend, minimum 3,500 bucks a piece. So if you do the numbers, I'm doing pretty well. That's how I'm able to do YouTube every day. I work on the weekends, edit the weddings on Monday, finish them, and then I have the rest of the week off. That's how I was able to afford the expensive gear. But just because I had the money didn't mean I needed it. So 2023, I bought all that gear, you know, spent so much money, and I said I'm gonna get to work and I'm gonna make my money back. And I did. And I also learned another lesson, which I'm gonna tell you here in the story. Come on, Stella, stay close. 2024 came. I took up my hustling level to a Super Saiyan level, and I wanted to see how hard and how much I can do if I really go full force. I was typically roaming around, you know, 150, 120K a year with just my wedding business, okay? Not the other side hustles that I do and all that stuff, such as content creating and all that jazz, you know, selling gear, buying gear, all that stuff. 2024 came, I kicked into Super Saiyan mode, added video commercial work to my business now. I started doing a little bit of production work here and there, which I didn't like. That'll be another story. And I was just finding my way, but ended up doubling my income in 1 year, starting, which made me it made me happy because it made me realize that when you unlock your fullest potential in your mind and you manifest it and you believe it, you know, my bro Cam Vlogs, I think that's his name, I'll tag him right here, just made a video. Thanks for the shout out, bro. But I knew exactly what he meant when he was talking about hijacking and like hacking your mind, because our minds is what really keeps us locked down. It's your mind that keeps you believing that you can't do it. How is a high school dropout 8th grader? You're talking to one right now. Which is funny because my wife actually went to private school. Her parents spent a lot of money on it, and she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And we decided that before we had kids, before we got married, and that's what we were gonna do. So that's what we're doing right now. We're super happy. There's a lot of challenges and stuff like that, obviously, that come with all of that. And, you know, we work through them together, but we're doing it. You know, some days are harder, some days are easy, some days are fun, some days, you know, you cry, you get stressed out, but it's life. I wouldn't do it any other way. But how is it that a high school dropout can make as much money as, or more than, you know, some of my friends that did end up going to school? And I have nothing against college or school like that at all. Just, I don't want you guys to get that wrong. I'm all for it. If that's what you want to do, if that's what makes you happy, if that's where your mind and soul and heart is, go for it, go do it. Because you're gonna do the best job ever if you wanna be a doctor, a dentist. We need everybody in the world like that to make this thing go round and work. It's the circle of life. You need to believe in yourself. You need to really dive into your mind and close out all the outside noise and focus to be able to do it. 2024, I hit a goal that I never thought I was gonna make, like ever. Like, I always dreamed about it. And I know to some people it might not make a lot of money, it might not make sense because, like I said, the money brackets and the stages and levels are different depending on where you live. But here in Rockford, Illinois, the Midwest, you know, $300,000 is awesome. You know, with all that, I still have to pay taxes. I have to, you know, pay my own insurance. I have to pay all these other things out of pocket, you know, and there are some drawbacks to it, but the freedom that comes with it is so rewarding. And I can tell you that I wake up every day and I love what I do. Going on with the gear. So I pushed myself super hard, doubled my income, but there was a cost with it. Stella, relax a little bit. She's getting a little crazy because we're walking by a school and there's kids and she loves kids. This whole hustle, the money and everything came with a cost that taught me a lesson, humbled me. It made me to who I am right now. And I'm thankful for that. I come from a Christian background as of 18 years old. And I do believe that the Lord is what brought me to these things. And sometimes when you ask for things and prayers, they get answered. Most of the time they get answered in a way where you didn't think. It wasn't just like, here's a rainbow path for you to walk through and here's your prayer. No, it's like sometimes you'll get put through hard situations that are gonna break you down in so many different ways that you almost lose hope. Sometimes your faith gets challenged and it's hard. It's hard to stick it through. You know, I've fallen short many times, I still do, but I ended up sacrificing a lot of my family time in 2024. My family suffered, I suffered, both mentally, emotionally, our relationships, everything. At the end of the year, when I was finally done in December, I was left empty. I was not rich like I thought I was gonna be. I felt empty. Once I got the gear and I had it in my hands, I filmed the videos, I felt so empty. And I can tell you that for me, it was making $300,000, you know, and having some cinema gear. Once I got there, I realized that I got lost along the way, that what I really wanted to do and what I've been really craving for, what I realized was that I just wanted connection with people. It made me realize that the reason I love making videos is because I want to connect with people and I love telling people stories. And I value life and relationships. And it took me that whole journey of overworking myself, getting burnt out, and the Lord giving me what I have asked for to make me realize that's not what I needed. I never needed any of that stuff. I had everything that I needed in front of me, and that is my wife, my kids, my life, my health, Stella. Like, I don't care anymore about having the top-notch clothes. Look at me. I wear joggers, tennis shoes every day. I have like 6 hoodies. I rotate throughout my videos. I'm so happy. This action camera is only 300 bucks compared to $10,000, $20,000 rigs that I was rocking before. Even my first vlogging kit was like $4 grand, 3,500 bucks. Now I'm down to this action camera. The stories are what's powerful. So after all of that, 2025 hit. It was January. It's like the plug was it's like the computer shut down, the business. It's when I go into my slow season. The winter hits, it gets dark here around like 3 o'clock. It's cloudy, everything's dead. There's no color outside. The winter blues hits, and it always hits me. But this year was just different. I saw my kids suffering through me not being home that whole year. I saw my wife, you know, struggling too, holding down the fort because I was just overworking myself. And at the end of the day, all of that money, all that gear, all of that stuff didn't even matter. And hopefully, if you're there right now, I just hope that, you know, obviously you maybe already have jobs like I did and there's nothing you can do. You gotta, you know, keep your word, keep your agreements and all that stuff, but start making some adjustments because I'm not even guaranteed to be here tomorrow, and neither are you. So we gotta make a big priority change in our lives when it comes to family and where we're spending our energy. The gear ended up not mattering anymore. I'm at the point where I just don't care about cinema gear anymore. I know I'm going to NAB this year, and I'm just excited to see what action cameras are out because they're way cheaper and very easy to use, and I can simply just throw it in my pocket and really focus on connecting with people. And you know what the core about this whole thing is? It actually stems from my childhood. Now, I didn't have, if you guys listen, go check out my video on my Mario tattoo. Check out that vlog. And I talk a little bit deeper of my background and where I came from. But to put it into short words, I didn't grow up with a good a single mother and very young, bad upbringing, no relationships, no emotional affection, support, nothing. And it's all I ever kind of wanted in my life. And now I am trying to do it with my kids, and it's a challenge every day. I want to, and I'm doing it, It doesn't come naturally though. It doesn't come naturally, and it's getting better. And as I age, the Lord has given me those superpowers. I am now in control of my mind, or trying to get as much control of my mind as I can. And it's a muscle we all have to exercise. But I'm done with the gear, guys. It took all of that work and all the hustle and everything to finally, sorry, Stella just peed, to finally be like, wow, like I was so blind. But now I'm so thankful that I was able to learn this at a faster pace. And hopefully, if you spent, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, probably like 40 minutes or something. But if you were one of the ones that made it through the whole entire video, thank you so much. And I hope that you leave this video with a change of mind, and at least trying to take a step to that other realm of looking at your life and priorities and what your desires, what is it that you're chasing right now, you know? And if you're not chasing anything, why, you know? And I'm not saying you need to be chasing like a new car or whatever, you know, some big thing. I'm just talking about like every day. Like, are you improving yourself every day? Are you doing something that's fulfilling? Because at the end of the day, I believe that we're all here for a reason. We all have a purpose, because at the end of the day, all I can tell you is, as humans, we're always going to be looking for the next thing. And until you realize that life is actually a lot simpler than you think, and that you don't need a lot of these things that the world is trying to sell us and tell us we should do, when you realize that, you're gonna be free. I truly mean it. I talk to a lot of older people now at my church, and even my counselor and stuff like that is a lot older than me. And I enjoy learning from them, because I truly believe that they just know something better about life than I do. I know that for a fact at 35, I know and I see life completely different than when I did when I was in my 20s, even with kids, even with everything. I know that they know something that I still don't understand right now, and I want to hear them. And that's why I'm actually looking for just older people to follow that are vloggers, because they have been through the next phase of life that I don't know about. And if I listen to their vlogs and listen to them, I can make the most out of the days, hours, minutes, years that I have left here on this earth. So I feel like I'm getting a little too, I'm getting too deep with it, but I just get passionate about this stuff, guys. Anyways, maybe that was a long story, but start with a simple story in conclusion, and end it with this. I appreciate you guys. I love all of you. And don't let the algorithms, don't let the numbers bring you down. Start a YouTube channel, get the Action 4 camera, affiliated link on my description. Now, mind you, before I leave, keep your story simple. It doesn't need to be as long as this. Like I said, set a 10 minutes timer and tell me a simple story and post it, because if you don't post it, you're not gonna get any feedback. And then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. What you're looking at here, guys, is that beginner 55, I believe, 55, 60 videos later. This is the result. Imagine where I'm gonna be at. This isn't even my final form. Imagine where I'm gonna be at in 100 videos, 200, 300. This is the beginning. It's been 2 months. Keep going. I believe in you. Take it easy, yo. Peace.